like a boss.
Hey, what's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. And today I'm gonna give you, I feel like, the most value-based video I'm gonna create. Because these are the 5 techniques that any woman can use to make a guy become attracted to them. Now look, I know I've said that anytime someone tells you these techniques will make a guy go wild for you, I know they're fake. Nobody, not one technique can make a guy fall in love with you. But use a conjunction, and depending on the circumstance, this technique at the minimum will make a guy be intrigued by you. Will make a guy say, damn, this girl, she's different. Like, it will literally make a guy talk to you, invest in you, and enjoy the conversation, and above all, want to gain your validation. Now, that's not gonna mean that you're gonna get him. That's not gonna say that you're gonna make him fall in love, but it's gonna take you to that point where guys gonna think about you and gonna know that you are pretty good with your words. Like, it's gonna make you a very good flirt. So, let me show you. Essentially, these techniques are simple, all right? These are very simple. The reason why I made these techniques is because these are the simplest techniques. I love simplicity. And it's not gonna require a lot of thinking on your part, because the more you think, the more analytical you become, and the more nervous you'll come across. So I'm gonna make it as simple as possible, all right? Now, mind you, these techniques, you've used them before. You just haven't noticed. For example, when you like a guy, for example, when you don't like a guy, you act a certain way. You know, you act in a way that's attractive because you're not attracted to him. So coincidentally, the guys that you don't want you. Why? Because when you're depending on the role, that's how you're gonna act. You see? Now, when you like a guy, suddenly you act all googly gaga. You don't know what to say next. You act all nervous because, once again, when you're in the role of being the one who's chasing, the one who's interested, you're gonna act a different way. Okay? So what I'm doing right now is I'm, in a sense, backward engineering the characteristics that people display whenever they're not interested in someone. Because whenever you display those characteristics of lacking interest per se, that causes attraction. And these techniques are gonna put you in a frame of power. Like, these are that powerful. These techniques are fucking powerful. So I want you to use it the right way, all right? Promise? Promise? Okay, all right, let's get ready. So the first I'm doing two. The first technique is this, and it's my favorite one: silence. Silence could be used in any occasion. For example, you tell a guy, so where are you from? He says, oh, I'm from New York City. And rather than answering, you just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing and let him speak. Even though he may say, like, I'm from New York City, just don't say nothing. Why? Because when you have that silence, it makes people elaborate a lot more. Another thing you could do is, for example, if a guy says, I'm from New York City, rather than answering, you could just give him a look of, like, I don't believe you. Kind of like, I'm from New York City. Kind of like, are you really from New York City? What's gonna happen? A guy's gonna say, no, seriously, I'm from New York City. And rather than answering, you could just keep doing that. Kind of like, really? What happened is that he's already investing, trying to convince you he's from New York City. So what does that mean? He's already investing in the conversation, and you're not doing anything. If you notice, kings in movies, they do that. Kings, rather than saying something, they just look at their subordinates, just point, like they do that often. So by simply having silence, just fucking with them a little bit, that causes attraction. Now, you don't use this often. Just use it in the first, once or twice in the first minute of meeting someone. So they say, I'm Alex, I'm this, I'm that. What do you do? I'm a software engineer. And you give them a look like, really? Like, don't say nothing, just like. And that causes people to invest. It's a perfect way to make a guy talk about himself in the beginning of the interaction. So, or another one that you could use is when, even with texting, just he's texting you and go silent. Don't respond to him for a couple days. That causes guys want guys to chase you more. Remember, scarcity makes people want more of that thing whenever it's scarce, which means when you give silence to someone, people are going to want to get your attention a lot more, including men, everyone. So the second technique is delayed response. This technique I know this because women use this on me, especially like the really attractive women. For example, you're talking to a guy and that you're not interested in him, right? So rather than, when a guy tells you where you're from, rather than answering fast, like, for example, this is how most women do when they're interested in a guy. Where are you from? And a girl be like, I'm from California. Like fast, because you want the guy to get to know you. Rather than that, take a pause. Don't respond fast, just pause. A guy asks you, where are you from? And I'm from California. You wait that extra second. it's gonna give you that aura of chillness. You see, rather than responding fast, you just take your time. Or even better, where are you from? I mean, this is a guy. Where are you from? And you look away. California. Just look away and talk. I'm from California. What happens? You imagine that shit. You ask me where am I from, and I'm like, I'm from California. You're gonna feel like, look at me, look at me, look at me. That causes subconsciously, that causes people to want to get your attention. The pause and the looking away part. Now, don't look away all the fucking time every time you answer it, but sprinkle it once or twice. Sprinkle it here and there, and add that with silence. It's gonna give you an aura of like coolness and smoothness. You know what I'm saying? So the third one is push pull. So push pull is essentially bringing the guy to you and pushing him away. Showing interest 1 second and not showing interest the next. Complimenting him 1 second and fucking with him the next. For example, oh my God, you're such a smart guy. Oh, thank you so much. Too bad you're not an athlete. I'm kidding with you, guy. You see, like you bring him to you, you pulling him, and then you push him away. Or for example, let's say you're texting him often. Let's say you text him every time he texts you, you respond immediately. So for example, he'll text you, and rather than responding fast, you wait like an hour or two. And then the next second he'll text you, you respond immediately. And then the next time you take a little bit longer to respond. You see, like you show interest, and then at the next second you don't show interest. You send long text messages, and then the next day you send short text messages. You become physical with him, and then you push away. You see, it's essentially you're keeping him. He doesn't know what's gonna happen, all right? And this is one of my favorite techniques to create attraction, because every time you push someone away, it'll feel more pleasurable when you pull them towards you. It's kind of like when you cancel plans with him one day, and then what's gonna happen because you cancel plans with him, he's gonna appreciate you more the next time simply because you canceled the plans with him. Make sense? So another one that you could do is empathy. I use empathy in order to help me in my conversations. For example, a lot of times we don't know what to say to someone. You know, you're talking, you're in a conversation, and it's kind of awkward. So one of the things that I like to do is I make a mental note to see them as though I see someone that I love. See them as though you really have a lot of empathy and care for them. Let me fix my laptop. So for example, you see them, rather than just seeing a guy, just see them as someone you really, really appreciate. See them as someone you really love. And what's gonna happen is that because that feeling, you're gonna feel as though you know them. You're gonna feel that, like feeling a lot of empathy and compassion. That's gonna make you curious about them. And so you'll be able to have a better conversation, because this. You don't know people. The people who you know, the connection is not made by the factual facts you know about them. Because you could know a lot about George Washington, that doesn't mean you knew him. You know about him, but you don't know him. But the way that you know people is through an emotional connection, which is to say, the feeling of knowing you. I could know you your whole life, but if one day I feel like I don't know you, simply the feeling of I don't know you creates the connection, breaks the connection. So when you see someone and you feel as though you know them, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna become curious about them. It's gonna improve your conversational skill and your listening skills. And it's pretty much an easy fix to girls who don't know what to say next in a conversation. You see? And so even if there's awkward silence, because you feel empathy and a lot of compassion from them, it's gonna help you feel comfortable. And because there's something called mirror neurons, that means that if you feel comfortable around them, and if you feel compassion around them, and you feel relaxed, he's gonna feel that too. It's called mirror neurons. Go check it out. It really is really true. So rather than not trying to feel awkward, start with yourself. Feel at ease, feel compassion, feel a lot of love for the person, and then see them from through those lenses. And you're gonna notice that your conversations are going to improve effortlessly. It's effortless. It's because you don't know, you didn't learn how to have a conversation with your friends. You don't Google how to have a conversation with your friends, but you Google how to have a conversation with people who you don't know. Why? Because you don't feel that connection. So create it first, feel compassion, feel empathy, and the conversations will naturally flourish. A good way to fix that is just to meditate. Because meditation increases empathy in people, all right? So that, you know, that's why I may seem like an aggressive little asshole sometimes. I'm a little compassionate, you know. I have a lot of love, you know. There's something in there, maybe dark and small, but you know, it's there. So another technique that you can use is called natural qualifier. For example, we all have certain standards that we require in a man. Well, you. Okay. I was like, oh shit, I did that. For example, you have a certain standard. For example, I have a standard of I love a woman who loves to read books. especially books on spirituality and all that sort of stuff. So when I talk to a woman, a good way to create attraction is asking her, yo, do you like to read? What kind of books you like to read? What's gonna happen is that because I really have a standard that I love women who read books, especially books on spirituality, when she answers me, depending on her response, it doesn't matter if I like her or not. If she tells me that she doesn't read books, I am genuinely gonna feel disappointed. So what's gonna happen is that because she tells me that, it doesn't matter if I try to hide the fact that I'm disappointed that she doesn't like to read books. She's gonna feel that I'm disappointed through my sub-communication. You know what I'm talking about. You know when you're talking to someone and deep down they feel like you feel like you disappointed them, right? That's because through their sub-communication, they're expressing that because the self is always coming through. So the same thing is that I consciously have a set of standards that if a woman meets those standards, I will naturally reward her. But if she doesn't meet the standards, I will naturally punish her. How? Not through conscious will, but through simply being natural. Oh, you don't like to read books? Oh man. Okay, that's cool. Anyways, oh, you like to read books? Fucking shit, I love that, man. That's what I'm talking about. What kind of books you like to read? So you feel the fact that you won me over. So now I'm like, yo, you're a cool girl, man. We gotta hang out. You see? So the same thing with a guy is that have your standards. Find out what you love in a guy. Now, I'm not talking about marriage and all that. I'm talking about, like, you know, qualities. Like, what kind of, are you passionate? You know, what do you do for fun? Or what's your favorite book? Oh, you don't like to read? Oh, okay. He's gonna feel the disappointment. You see what I'm saying? So find out what you love in a man. Find out what you love to do. Okay, you can Netflix and what, it doesn't matter. Don't say Netflix to a guy. Don't say that word. Don't think of things. For example, like meditation. You ask them, can you meditate? Do you meditate? By simply asking that way, like, do you meditate? They feel like there's an answer that you require. So what's happening is that because you may answer, so depending on the answer, he's gonna feel if he won you over, or if you lost him, no, or if he lost you. So by simply just being yourself and him answering that question, if you're disappointed, he's gonna feel that and he's gonna try and win you over. He's gonna try and invest in the interaction a lot more. Like, this technique is so simple. All you gotta do is have your standards, okay? Know exactly what the things that you love in people and ask them if they do that. And naturally react. But that natural reaction is gonna be felt and expressed. All right, it's such a powerful technique because it doesn't require thinking. It just requires you knowing your values and what you expect from people. So I ask girls, do you like to read books? Do you do yoga? Do you exercise often? And depending on the answer, women feel that, oh shit, I disappointed him, or oh shit, he really likes this about me. So then you could reward her with your attention, like, say, that's what I'm talking about. So in a way, she feels that she won you over. And because she feels like she worked for your attention, she becomes more attractive. The same thing with guys. Rather than giving them the attention without them working for it, qualify them prior to it and then reward them with your attention. And that's gonna make people appreciate you a lot more. Whenever they work for your attention, they appreciate it more. Because people don't appreciate the free things in life. That's why people don't use their minds, because they don't appreciate it that much. Anyways, tell me about some of the techniques that you ladies use, because you know what? I love using the techniques that girls use on me because they work on girls as well. So let me know, what have you tried in the past? What do you like to do when you flirt with a guy? Like, I don't know, like if you say I love to wait a couple days to text him, let me know how you guys flirt so I can learn from you as well, because I could use it as well, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I hope you guys have a good day. Take care.